Welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast, and in this video we're going to give you our review for Secret Invasion episode 6, now streaming. Stick around later on in this channel, we're going to do a season 1 review, so stay tuned for that. Man, what an eventful episode. Kaya is like, I don't know, she's like Goku at this point. Dylan, why don't we start off with your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a great finisher for this season. I'm going to talk more about what I thought about this season in general. I think for the most part, I enjoyed it, but I think it did feel a bit rushed. But there are some big consequences, and I have to give kudos to Kingsley Ben-Adir. I think his performance as Gravik was really good in this episode. Yeah. And, you know, Samuel Jackson as well. A lot of people have been saying Nick Fury has been kind of nerfed in this show, but I disagree. I think he still has this kind of aesthetic where like he is like 2 steps ahead of everybody, and we definitely see that in this episode because of his whole plan to take down Gravik. But yeah, what did you think of this episode?
Yeah, I thought this episode, the pacing could have been a little bit better. I mean, that's what you kind of expect. I knew that this wasn't going to be something that was going to be extremely long, and for the most part, I think the CGI wasn't bad either. Some people had their complaints, but I thought it was okay. I thought it's interesting that most of the time it was like prosthetics, and then once Super Skrull was really out, then it was all CGI. It was an interesting battle, nevertheless. And I think for the most part, I get what people are saying about Nick Fury as well. I think he does resemble a lot of the comics. He's not really that guy. He has been in action, but it's always espionage and stuff like that. Yeah, this episode definitely affects the MCU. We get a little bit more insights on what happened with Rhodey. Even the director for Secret Invasion was like, he thinks Rhodey has been a Skrull all this time. He thinks, or people are saying like, oh, maybe it's not. I think he said like after Civil War. I think that's just dumb. I hope not. Because then it's like, oh, okay, everyone's a Skrull, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm glad to see. I don't know if we should spoil it or not, but I'm kind of glad to see, you know, some characters make a return and seem safe. But nonetheless, I think it was an alright episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think some people expected it to have a bigger, grandiose finale, but I think it's weird because this show feels small scale, but the lasting impacts are huge, even if it's not directly like how it was in the comics. So maybe I should just spoil a little bit of what happened. So just, you know, be warned, guys. But so basically, so Nick goes to give Gravik the harvest, and then that's when they have this great dialogue, which I thought was really like powerful. It was basically Gravik, you know, letting Nick know his feelings about everything that happened and why he's doing what he's doing. I thought so. That's why I thought it was a great performance from Kingsley. But then you think it's gonna be Nick because they're in that chamber thing where he gets the Super Skrull powers, and I thought it would have been corny if because Nick was also in the chamber. So I thought it would have been corny if he got powers too. All of a sudden, it's like now he doesn't need the Avengers because he's basically like a Super Skrull himself. But then it turns out to be Gaia, and then she is like a super Skrull now, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool too that they showed like all the different characters that were in the Harvest Vial. So they had like Gamora, they had Captain Marvel, like all these Winter Soldiers. DNA was in there too. So then they had this big fight. I thought it was weird too that Gaia still kept her human form. There's so many shots where like she's in her human form. I'm like, you don't need to. Like they're in the Chernobyl compounds. Like nobody's gonna fucking see this. But I thought that fight was cool. I mean, sometimes the CGI looked weird. But for the most part, I thought it was okay. And then I feel bad that Gravik is another one-shot villain. Unfortunately, like I said in the last episode, I wanted him to kind of remain in the MCU as possibly like a bigger threat. Kind of like what they did with Baron Mordo. Like he survived, and then maybe he's like a bigger threat later on. So that was kind of sad. But then the big impact is that unfortunately Gravik technically won because now the world knows about the Skrulls, and then the Don Cheadle Skrull was exposed, and now the president of the United States has like this shadow war against the Skrulls, you know, and then all these activists are like, it's a big like human, like us versus them mentality. Now the humans are killing like random people that they think are Skrulls, right? So it has this bigger lasting impact. and then Nick goes back underground, and then Gaia is working for Sonia. So yeah, I mean, it could have been better, to be honest. I can't see season 2 being warranted at this point. Maybe they'll show something like the aftermath, like in the Marvels or something. Because Nick basically went back to Saber, and I think they said like the Kree and the Skrull were gonna have like peace talks or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what the future of the Skrulls or Nick Fury is gonna be, but let us know what you think.
I honestly think that's just the most fucking like stupid thing for them to do in the MCU right now. It's honestly so like it's right idea in the wrong time, because the MCU, I don't know where it's heading. It looks like it's heading to a more grandiose type of idea rather than a more intimate and socio-political dick, whatever. So it doesn't really, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to have this whole thing now. I wish they kind of ended in a different way, because that's a cool idea, but I just don't think that they'll actually go all out with it a little bit later on. I think that it's kind of going to be a thing that's forgotten, unfortunately. And I mean, Nick Fury even goes back up to his shithole of a space station. So it's like, okay, so what's going to happen now? Really? That's it. So I don't like that at all. I feel like now there's gonna be so many excuses to use the Skrulls. It's like, oh yeah, this was a Skrull this time.
Right. Yeah.
Tony Stark was a Skrull this time, so we're gonna bring Robert Downey Jr. back now, or some shit, like some stupid stuff. And you know how Disney is; they're gonna like come up with these stupid ideas. I'll mention more about how I feel like there was a lot of things conflicting in this show. If it was just one type of genre, I would have been better. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a season 1 review. Overall, I thought this episode was not. I thought this episode was entertaining. It's not bad, and I mean, you always want to be entertained, right? Well, not true. I could watch Coco Melon and be entertained as well, but I mean, for the most part, I think it was pretty cool. The fight sequences and stuff, and again, I like the idea at the end. That's a really solid and cool idea, to be honest. So I applaud them for that. I just feel like, again, Disney might handle it bad in the future. But yeah, I probably will rate this episode a like 1 out of 10. What would you rate this episode?
Oh, wow. Well,
no one's really listening anyway, so that's why.
Damn, well. Damn, it's cold. Motherfucker cold. I'd probably give it 7. No, I'll probably give it 6 out of 10. I mean, like you said, it was entertaining to me, but I feel like the whole twist, it was whatever. It's basically like what Natasha Romanoff did in Winter Soldier, like the whole trick the bad guy thing, and that was like that fake out. I kind of wish we would have. I'll talk more about this in season 1. I kind of wanted Maria or Talos back. I know most people don't care about them, but I don't know. I think it's just weird to like kill them off in this show.
They're burning in hell right now. They're burning in the desert. Their soul is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Nick Fury's gonna get the Soul Stone just to get Maria back or
Soul
some
Stone. Leave her.
shit.
No, I honestly would give this episode like probably a 7 out of 10 if somebody actually is watching, because we're doing really bad with the views in these videos. But anyways, yeah, continue please.
6 out of 10 for me. I think overall it was fine for what it was. I think I kind of wanted more out of it. But I still think the performances were pretty good. I can see why some people have a problem with some of the characters, but I think overall it was okay. I mean, if you're just watching it, just watch it. It's fine. I'm interested what the future of this show, if they were going to do something else with it, what it would be.
Eternal damnation.
I guess so. Since we lost half the cast already. Shit. It's just Nick Fury in a retirement home or some shit. Like drinking a beer or some shit.
It's probably going to lead to Hunter season 3.
Shit, I imagine.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, guys, that is our review for episode 6 of Secret Invasion. If you did stick around to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. And if you guys watched all our Secret Invasion reviews, I really thank you guys so much. But yeah, just endure one more episode for us, because we're going to do a season 1 review like we said, talk more about what we liked, what we didn't like. But yeah, we also have a San Diego Comic-Con vlog coming out pretty soon.
Our movie.
It's our Oppenheimer.
Yes.
I must say, Akram did a great job with it.
Thank you.
I can't wait for you guys to see it. But yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about Secret Invasion. If you liked it or didn't like it, what are your thoughts on it? And what would you like to see us review as well? But until then, guys, thanks for having lunch with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my hands in a jar of honey, and we're gonna review AJ and the drag queens or whatever for RuPaul next. Sorry, I'm just having fun today. See you guys. Drink Diet Pepsi. Bye bye.
Stupid.